information related by participants and eyewitness testimonies. The story depicted here will be remembered and discussed for generations. This was the morning of October 5th, 1892, when the Dalton gang rode on Coffeyville, Kansas. But it started 3 days earlier. Bob Dalton, distant cousin to the James brothers and the Youngers, killed his first man before he turned 20. Wanted for murder and train robbery. A reckless, ambitious outlaw whose expressed desire was to beat anything Jesse James ever did. On October 2nd, after scouting the town of Coffeyville, he returned to the Dalton hideout near Manford, Oklahoma. The following day, the balance of the Dalton gang was due to arrive. Tom Bartee, a half-breed Creek, served as lookout for the Daltons and furnished the gang with needed supplies. Daisy was Bob Dalton's common-law wife and sister to Charlie Bryant, who rode with the Daltons until he was killed by a law officer 4 months earlier.
Been 3 days.
I've been working.
Coffeyville?
Yeah. I had to look around.
Folks know you there.
Kept low. Making sure nothing's changed.
You're gonna end up dead like Charlie.
Beats farming and working another man's land for 75 cents a day.
Charlie had a good ride before he cashed in.
And he left a woman waiting in some hole. Still be waiting if somebody didn't tell her Charlie was dead. Alone and drying up. Not me, Bob. I'm not spending my life wondering if you're coming back. Or when.
You're always you when I get back, aren't you?
Well, don't count on it next time.
I'm hungry.
Used to be coming off a long ride. Food wasn't the first thing on your mind.
Woman, I got a lot to think on. Rat and Em and the boys will be here tomorrow.
Then you'll be pulling out again.
That's right. When this thing is over, we'll stay put for a while. There'll be some time for us.
Hasn't been time for us in 3 months.
Brodwell Spence was once a feared gunman. 4 years ago, he quit and drifted from place to place seeking the anonymity of a small town. Finally, he settled with his wife and son in Coffeyville, where he owned and operated an express company.
Adam, what is it? Yeah!
What is it, son?
Billy Gillis's pasta brought down yesterday.
Oh, I don't think so, son. The Daltons are hidden out somewhere in Indian territory.
Billy's pa swears it.
Did he say where he saw him?
Just outside of town. He was digging post holes. Says Bob don't know by close enough for him to get a look. Says he know him anywhere.
Well, son, the Daltons have had this country spooked for 4 years. Just like the James boys, folks were seeing them 100 different places at once. Did Mr. Gillis tell the marshal?
Yeah, but
But what?
Kid said I should tell you.
Well, you better get into your work clothes. You got chores to do.
But Pa!
Now, go on.
Oh, gee.
Well, even at the blister end of the pitchfork, a man can't shake the past.
You think you really saw Bob Dalton? You knew him better than anyone.
I doubt it. Pretty risky coming around the town you grew up in when you're wanted like he is.
He's a hero to some.
So was I.
First time in quite a spell, I got your full attention. You love me. Lord knows you never told me, but I know you do.
You better get our rumps out of this bed. Boys will be riding in soon.
Dick Brodwell had ridden with the Dalton gang for 3 years. 22 years old, he was a green cowpuncher until he met up with Bob Dalton, for whom he held a fierce loyalty, willing to follow the outlaw leader anywhere, including hell.
You leaving all of a sudden like this? Why?
Oh, business, Mama.
That letter. From Bob Dalton, wasn't it? You said you'd given up living that way.
Mama, it's nothing like that. He's a friend.
He's an outlaw and he's a wanted man. I'm afraid you are too. Oh, son, please stay here.
Mama, I'm not riding with Bob anymore. Look, he needs a helping hand. I figure he's in trouble.
He'll get you killed. You said you come back here to stay to help build the farm up. Since your pa died, I just can't do this.
Mama, I'm not much for working a farm. I don't want to end up like Pa did. Sorry, Mama. I'll be back.
Stay, please. Please stay.
Bye-bye, Mama. Come on, Weepy.
I weren't much. But he died a hard-working, decent man. Not a thieving outlaw.
Blue Jacket was a small town near the Kansas-Oklahoma border where Dick Brodwell was scheduled to rendezvous with Grat Dalton.
Got a little time, Cowboy?
Sorry, honey. I got just enough time to get my friend and get out of here.
Wanted for robbery and murder, Grat was the oldest of the outlaw Dalton brothers. He had escaped United States Marshal Ransom Payne a year earlier. Since that day, Grat and his brothers continued to weave a life of outlawry and violence across Kansas and the newly established Oklahoma Territory.
Raise.
Kings and tens?
3 ladies.
Now, that third lady you're holding, mister, is a little bit dog-eared. How long you had it living in your sleeve?
What are you saying?
I'm saying to you, you better sit down, mister. You try to rake in that pot, they're gonna have to call a swamper in here to clean you up.
Hello, Grat.
You're a little early, boy.
Let's just say I'm anxious to get where we're going. Let him have it. There are bigger things waiting on us.
Your pot, mister.
Afternoon. Afternoon. We're looking for a fellow that smells like a mule who's been known to drink a little bit.
Well, there's a fellow been here a couple of days. Claims to be waiting on somebody. Been drunk and drawing flies ever since.
What room?
Just follow the stink.
Emily? Where's some food, man? He's gotta eat.
The third member of the Dalton gang was Pistol Bill Powers, sought by the law for murder and robbery. Bill Powers was a veteran outlaw not ruled by loyalty. He joined the Daltons as a cold proposition to line his own pockets. He was a strong, dangerous man whose worst enemy was the bottle.
Where's... Emily?
It's us, Bill.
I ain't ready. Emily, tell him. I ain't ready.
Bob's waiting.
Emily, we got us. There's 2 gentlemen here. Need drinks. She's gone. She's been gone for 2 years.
In Missouri, Bill.
I heard she ran off St. Louis with a drummer man. Sold ladies dainties. You know, Dick, pink purties.
Well, any man like that could capture a woman's fancy. Even Emily's.
Now, if you'd have climbed out of that bottle and taken a little care of her, she might still be around, mister. Yeah. We got to be strangers. Me and the bottle, when we were together. Oh, you're thicker than calf splatter now, mister. You tell Bob I don't need him.
Come on!
"21 years old, Emmett was the youngest of the Daltons and had only joined the band 6 months earlier. Despite his efforts to break away, his involvement with his brothers in a train robbery had put a price on his head.
been? I was getting worried. Well, we'd have been here sooner, Emmett. We had to dip Bill here in the creek, sober him up.
You're looking good, Bill.
No, I ain't.
How you doing, Dick? How's your mama?
Fine.
Now, why is Bob calling us all together?
Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to wait, same as us, to find that out, little brother.
If this is another holdup, you just count me out.
Come on, Emmett. Bob's counting on all of us. You're not going to let him down, are you?
Oh, Dick, now, Bob could play the fiddle. You'd dance to it, wouldn't you?
If you don't like the sound of it, you know you can always back out.
Oh, all right, come on.
Come on, Bill. Hang in there.
Come on, let's go.
Afternoon, Will.
Howdy, Charlie.
Suppose you heard that Gillis is claiming he seen Bob Dalton.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, that Gillis can sure get gossipy. Yeah, he was in the lead when they were passing out the tongues, all right.
That's true.
Oh, I don't think there's anything to it. But I'd keep my eye open.
Well, you think Dalton might be looking for me, huh?
Well, everybody knows what happened between you two. I mean, some folks are afraid you might have brought your troubles here with.
Is that what they're saying?
Well, every time folks hear the name Dalton, they get to rearing up. I wouldn't let them bother me none, Will. I'm glad you're here. I just hope you're figuring on staying.
Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah, sure, Will.
Give me my shirt.
I got a feeling you're drifting again. What are you thinking about?
Will Spence.
The gunman?
Not anymore. Now he's a decent, upright citizen. And he's living in Coffeyville.
Coffeyville? What's he doing there?
He's running the express company. Hey, don't worry about him. He won't be a problem.
You tell that to your Uncle Jake Younger. It was Spence that buried him. You're not careful, he'll do the same to you.
Brett and I know a couple of boys that owe us a favor. We busted them out of jail a few years back.
What sort of favor you talking about?
When we ride into Coffeyville, preacher will be praying over Spence.
Olson's expecting this wagon. I'll be back in a couple hours.
Will!
Still worried about Bob Dalton?
Yes, I am.
Honey, we'll find a place.
Well, we can't keep moving on every time we hear his name. It's Adam. Living in hotels, rooming houses. It's different when it was just us. That boy has got to have a home.
Yeah, I know. You're sure it's this town?
It's a good town. We've been living here for 3 years. That's the closest we ever came to having a home.
Yeah. I guess you're right. I won't be long. Hi, dude! Ho! Ho!
Ed Dockin and Pierce Munson, wanted for murder and jailbreak. In 1889, they were tracked down and captured by United States Marshal Ransom Payne for the shooting of a postal clerk. While awaiting transfer to the state prison, they were broken out of a Lawrence, Kansas jailhouse by the Daltons. On this day, they rode into Coffeyville to pay their debt to Bob Dalton. Kill a man they have never seen.
There he be.
Afternoon, pretty.
I hope we didn't give you a start, ma'am. We're looking for Mr. Spence. He be about?
He's gone.
Oh. Well, how long?
Till tomorrow.
You be Mrs. Spence.
Yes.
I'd appreciate you telling where we could find your husband. It's important business.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
No. Lady don't know, she don't know. My friend here's got an itch to get this business done and get back that little wife of his, you know. Well, I reckon if Mr. Spence won't be here tomorrow, we'll just pass on through. Catch him next time coming by. Afternoon.
What kind of business did you have with my husband? Maybe I can help.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Our business has to be with Mr. Spence. Afternoon.
What are we gonna do, hunker here till snow flies?
Don't worry, she's lying.
How do you figure that?
You know, Spence is past history. Six-spot breed like us faster than you can hiccup. We wait.
Never even seen him. How are we gonna know him?
We'll stick here. He'd come to us.
Now, Adam, I want to take you over to the Johnsons, and I want you to stay there until I come back for you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Daisy! Daisy! The boys are coming. Break out the whiskey. How you feeling, Bob?
Okay, well, you look good.
I knew you'd be here.
Hey, Bill, how you feeling? Oh, you little guy?
I got something for you, man.
Right.
I wasn't sure whether or not you'd come.
Yeah, I came.
You devil!
Ah, come here, Daisy. You're the softest woman I know. Do you know that?
Yeah.
I'm a Daisy. How are you? Daisy.
Better drink the whiskey now, boys, because tonight I'm gonna put the cork on the bottle.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. You are sure looking pretty. Better keep your eye on baby brother there, Bob. Appears like he's growing up.
We'll see about that.
Listen, it'll be a little long, hard ride. We're all a mite empty. What do you say?
Hey, Daisy's gonna cook something special for you. After we eat, we'll talk some business.
Daisy.
Hey, he's kind of hungry.
Come on, boys.
Oh, now.
You looking good, Emmett. Seen Ma lately?
Yeah, I seen her a couple of weeks back. Oh, she was kind of hoping you'd show.
Well, I've been kind of busy, you know. I reckon you've been spending a lot of time with that little girl. How is she?
Well, Julia. Yeah, she's fine. Well, what you up to, Bob? Why are we here?
Something big. Something even the James boys never tried.
That woman, she's coming back. She's going away. Maybe she knows we're in here.
Doesn't matter. We come here to do a job and we're sticking.
What's wrong?
After you left, two men came looking for you.
Who were they?
They didn't give their names. They didn't have to. They're in the barn right now waiting for you.
That must be him.
Where's Adam?
I took him over to the Johnsons. Will, get Marshal Connolly.
Nah, he's too old. They'd cut him down. Come on, walk with me.
What are you going to do?
Honey, you better get over to the Johnsons, too.
No.
All right, then. Stay with me. And don't look over at the barn.
Doesn't look like he's coming over here.
Then we'll put a fire underneath him. Pour it on.
No need, Charlie.
Are you all right?
Sure, I'm fine.
Did you know him?
Nope.
Well, I'm betting it is Bob Dalton wants you dead. Maybe Gillis did see him after all.
Nah. The Daltons wouldn't send somebody in to kill me. They'd want that pleasure for themselves.
Well, I'm gonna look him over anyway. Might be a poster out on him. I'll let you know.
Thanks, Charlie.
Are you sure you're all right?
Everything's fine. Probably just a couple of gunhounds trying to dig up a reputation.
Town's got 2 banks. The farmers are getting rich, and they're putting their money in both banks.
This town. That's Coffeeville.
That's right.
You snake bit, Bob? We grew up in that town.
That's why I picked it. We know that town inside and out. Every alley, every street, every building. Can you think of a better reason?
Which bank you plan on hitting, Bob?
Both of them.
Bob, we know folks in Coffeeville. Pa's buried there. The Conning Bank used to loan us money.
Then just think of it, little brother, as another loan, this time without interest. We owe that town nothing.
We're not going to get 2 feet in that town, but what they spot us.
We'll be gone in 5 minutes. We'll be out of there before they even know we were there.
I think it's local. I'm against it.
Well, maybe it is local, Bill, but for a man who's used to living in a dung heap, mister, you ain't got no choice. Is that right, Bob? I like it.
Hey, why 2 banks? Tell me that.
Like I told Emmett. Even Jesse never tried it. There's nothing and no one that can stop us. Town's full of farmers and pot-bellied store owners. Marshall's an old man. Feel like robbing a candy store.
Yeah, don't count on me, Bob. I'm out.
Emmett, you're already wanted. And after we pull this raid off, with or without you, you're gonna be wanted even more. So I figure it's better to be wanted and rich than you and that little girl can go any place you want.
Running. I don't want us living like that.
You're running now, Emmett. I gotta know, man. You with me or not? Dick?
Come in.
Brad?
Of course, Bob.
Bill?
Well, Bob, I don't know. It's risky.
So are women in horseshoes.
All right, count me in.
Emmett?
I want to sleep on it.
You don't have time to sleep on it. I told you we're riding out in the morning.
Oh, wait a minute. Why so soon?
Ransom Payne.
He's in the territory?
Yeah, word has it he was in Guthrie a few days back.
I thought he was looking for us in California.
That man don't like to just sit and rock a while, does he?
All right, what if he's waiting there in Coffeyville?
Even Payne doesn't figure us to raid Coffeyville. That's why I have to know him.
You go on back to Julia, Emmett. You don't need this.
Daisy.
There's more than just farmers living in Coffeyville. You tell him, Bob. Go on.
Daisy, I told you that was taken care of.
Well, what is this, Bob?
Will Spence has been living in Coffeyville.
Spence?
Where?
Bob, look, we got Spence at one end, we got Payne at the other. We get pinned in the middle.
Grat, I told you it was taken care of. Don't fret on it. When you ride into Coffeyville, you can pay your respects. You know where the cemetery is?
It would take a good man to put him there, Bob.
Two. Dockin and Munson.
Oh, Bob. Those boys are real killers. Back shooting, most likely. Listen, they'd stand as good a chance against Will Spence as a bunch of worm-eating apples hanging in a high wind.
Spence hasn't been carrying a gun for 4 years. That's their edge. I don't care how he goes down.
You two used to be friends until you had that falling out.
Falling out? That man killed Jake Younger. Jake wasn't just kin. He was more than that.
Because of that, I thought you wanted to plant Spence.
Almost more than money. But I figure business comes first.
Well, we're at Dockin and Munson now.
You're headed south. Those two boys aren't the kind that want to hang around and admire their work or come back here and bring a posse. Bill, take it easy on that whiskey, huh? Get some rest. We're headed out first thing in the morning.
Come on, Bill.
Emmett, I don't have your answer yet.
I'll give you one, Bob. When I know.
That same day, United States Deputy Marshal Ransom Payne arrived in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Bringing the Daltons to justice was Payne's avowed personal mission. On the gang's trail for nearly 2 years, he pursued them long and hard. The pursuit taking him from California through Kansas and Oklahoma.
Back this way again, huh? Looks like you left a long trail of dust.
Yeah.
I thought you were headed for a dare.
Been there and back. Trail didn't pan out.
I hear that's the way it's been, you chasing the Daltons. A day late and $1 short.
Any word about him around here?
The last time the Daltons were here, they stuck up the bank. But there's another rumor. This time, Bob Dalton's been seen over in Coffeyville.
When'd you hear this?
The stage from Coffeyville come through yesterday. The driver told me.
That's home ground. They stayed low this long. Could be somebody hiding them out over there.
How long you been on that trail?
Long time.
Ever since Grat got away from you back in California, huh?
Before that.
The way I heard, Grat was on a train manacled to your deputy. You were there, too. Checking out the baggage car? Is that right? They say Grat just stood up bold as winter, jumped out a window into a river. Now tell me straight, Payne. How did a thing like that happen?
Ask my deputy.
Hey, if you need any help, I could put together a posse.
I work alone.
The The morning following Ransom Payne's departure from Guthrie, at approximately 9 o'clock, October 4th, 1892, the Dalton gang prepared for the ride to Coffeyville. Each man carried with him a memento or possession. To Emmett, it was a picture of his sweetheart, Julia Johnson. Known as a notorious card cheat, Grat was never without the marked deck of cards he considered good luck. From the first day young Dick Broadwell started to ride with the Daltons, he made out his will, leaving all worldly possessions to his mother. For Bill Powers, it was only a past blurred by drink. And with Bob, it was his determined ambition to outdo the legendary Jesse James.
We'll be back for you late tomorrow.
What if Payne does come along?
And Tom's gonna have to dig a deep hole. I'll be back.
Make sure you do.
Anybody come by you don't know, kill him.
You darn fool. I got a feeling I'll be needing this worse than you.
Hello, son. Betty? What's wrong with Adam? He seems kind of low in the mind.
Oh, you know how he feels about doing his chores.
No, it's not the chores. What's wrong with him?
Oh, it's the children at school. They've been teasing him.
About what?
Well, since yesterday, everybody in this town who didn't know who you were. Well, they know now, including Adam's friends. Well, I know I was the one who said she wanted to settle here. But now...
Now you don't, huh?
Not since those men came. I know who you were. Well, I've never even seen you use a gun. Now, they say you killed some men. How many, I don't know. I don't want to know. Because that all happened before we met. It's like a story until now. Now, you know who sent those men. Bob Dalton sent them. And now he'll come. And he'll bring more men. Will, I want us to leave. Now.
I can't.
You're not alone. You've got me now. You've got Adam. You can't just go out there and face a man down like you did in the old
days. The Daltons
days.
wouldn't be foolish enough to show themselves around here.
Bob Dalton wasn't just here when Mr. Gillis saw him. I saw him myself a week ago.
What?
That's right. You remember when Mrs. Simpson was so sick?
Yeah.
And I sat over with her at the boarding house most of the night?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I heard someone arguing. across the street in front of Oates' saloon.
Uh-huh.
And so I looked out the window, and I saw Lloyd Oates, and he was talking to a man and a woman. And the man looked like Bob Dalton.
How would you know?
Well, I've seen enough pictures of him.
But you aren't sure.
I am now.
Well, why didn't you tell me then?
I was afraid if I told you what would happen.
Well, I guess the marshal was right.
About what?
The Daltons. They've been quiet for too long. Probably out of money.
I want us to leave.
No.
Please.
Betty, this is a farming town. Hardly anyone here even wears a gun. They'd be helpless as sheep if the Daltons rode in here.
You're saying it's going to be up to you?
That's why the Daltons want me out of the way.
You try to stand between the Daltons and Coffeyville, and you're going to be standing alone while most of the people around here haven't even accepted us. Why do you even want to stay?
I have to. Hey, that's a nice job. Come on. Bet you and me throw some horseshoes, huh? There you go. You first. Ah, not bad. Here they've been giving you kind of a hard time at school.
Yep.
I'm sorry, son. It's my doing.
Dad, they say you were a good fighter.
Yeah, I know. I know. Some of it's exaggerated. Some of it's true. It's just something I gotta live with. But I was hoping to keep you and your mother free of it.
I don't want to stay, Dad.
You mean you want to leave Coffeyville? Well, I know how hard it is when people start, I mean, especially your friends, when they start saying things that hurt.
I told Rowdy Adams that I'd punch him in the nose.
Hey, now, none of that. You can't go around hitting people because they say things you don't want to hear. And you can't run because they say them.
Then what can I do?
Well, when a horse starts to bucking, you got to take a good hold of the reins and just try to hang on.
You mean I should do nothing?
Takes more sand to do that than does to hit somebody or run away. And someday, I hope you'll see the sense of it.
Sort of early for you, ain't it, Will? We don't start pouring for another hour.
Well, Lloyd, I understand you pour all kinds of hours. I also understand Bob Dalton was in here the other night with a lady.
What are you talking about, Will?
I'll have whiskey. Pour yourself one, too. You're gonna need it. What was Dalton doing in here?
Damn it, Will, I don't know what you...
You listen to me, Lloyd. Those two gunhounds I killed yesterday were sent in here by Bob Dalton. Now think on it. Why would he want me in a pine box?
Because you killed Jake Younger.
4 years, that's been sticking in his craw, but that's not it. Now it's something else. And I want to know what.
Well, now, I don't know what you want me to tell you, Will. Well, he didn't even know you lived here until...
Till you what?
Nothing.
You told him I lived here, didn't you? Didn't you?
Yeah.
What did he say that night? What did he say, Lloyd?
He said for me not to tell about him and Daisy being there or he'd kill me.
Tell it, Lloyd.
He just asked about a few of the folks who used to live here. Was it still around? He said he stopped by his pa's grave and it was overrun with weeds. And would I put some fresh flowers on it?
What else did he say?
He asked about old man Condon. Was he still around and running the bank?
Oh, he did. The bank, huh? All right, Lloyd. Now you can just tell your little story to the town council.
Oh, no, he said not to let a word about him being here. Get out of this room.
Well, now that poses you quite a problem, don't it, Lloyd? I'll be seeing you.
Bob Dalton's plan was to reach Onion Creek by dark. There they would spend the night. Always bent on making history, not even Dalton himself could predict what impact the next 16 hours would make. But that cold, foggy day, there would be no rest for Ransom Payne.
Good try, Daisy. Don't do it. Woman or not, I'll kill you. Just throw it down.
snaky silly.
Haven't changed a bit, have you, Daisy? Except the last time I saw you, you was locked up. When Bob and the others pull out.
Days ago.
Heading south.
No, north. Figured you're coming. Should be hitting snow any time now.
Just left you behind, did they?
Bob run out on me. Besides, I was tired of living like dirt.
Coming back for you, isn't he, Daisy?
No.
Where they heading, Daisy? Coffeeville?
I said north. Where you going?
Coffeeville.
Even if that's where they are, it's more than a day's ride. And no telegraph around for 50 miles. Besides, you couldn't find a milk bucket unless you stepped in it.
I found you.
You'll never stop them, Penn! You're too late! They beat you before and they'll do it again! I just hope this time they kill you! Kill you dead.
At 8 p.m. October 4th, an emergency town meeting was called in Coffeeville at the insistence of Marshal Connolly. Attending that night was Carrie Seaman, the town barber. Charles Graham, manager of the First National Bank. George Cubine, who ran the shoe repair. Abel Condon, one of the first settlers of Coffeeville and president of the Condon Bank. H.H. Isham, owner of the hardware store. And Joe Riley, who owned and operated a lumberyard.
Marshal, why don't we get this thing started? We're all here. I got a load of lumber to deliver by morning, so I hope this meeting is important.
It's important, Mr. Riley, and it won't be long.
Don't tell me he's now a member of the town council.
Now listen, the Spencers are here for a reason, folks. It has to do with the Daltons. We have every reason to believe they're headed this way.
Oh, why would they? Marshal, are you trying to convince us that the Daltons are going to raid Coffeeville?
Trying to warn you, Mr. Riley. All of you. Yesterday, 2 men rode into this town. They came here to kill Will Spence.
We're all aware of what happened yesterday, Marshal.
Today, I learned the identity of those men. They're friends of the Daltons.
It's a known fact, Marshal, that the Daltons hold a grudge against Spence. Everybody here knows what happened between him and the Daltons.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. We're going to let Spence speak for himself. Well?
Well, you folks all know what I was. But in the 3 years I've been here, I think I've proven to you that's all behind me. The Marshal's right. Those 2 men were sent here by Bob Dalton.
I always said you'd bring trouble here. That's the very reason many of us were opposed to your settling in this town from the beginning. And when a man like Spence takes off the gun, doesn't mean he loses the reputation or buries the legend. Trash draws flies.
That's enough, Riley.
That may be, but I've made my point because if the Daltons are riding into Coffeeville, it's not to raid this town, but to kill Will Spence. Now, this is between you and the Daltons, Spence. Don't drag it into our streets.
I agree with Riley. You're asking us to risk our lives to protect Spence.
He's asking you to protect your town. Because sure as sunrise, they're coming.
Coffeeville's their home. Their roots are still here.
So's the Condon Bank. Bob Dalton was in town a week ago, right here in this saloon. Tell him why, Lloyd.
Spence is lying. I haven't seen Bob Dalton in 5 years.
Didn't you tell Spence Dalton and his woman drank in here?
Well, I told him that because he made me. And he said if I didn't tell you folks the same
Oh,
thing...
come on, Lloyd. Stop lying to save your hide. You'll end up killing this town.
Marshal, is this meeting adjourned?
Somebody else saw Dalton that same night. Mrs. Spence.
That's true. Last week, I saw Bob Dalton and his woman. They came into this very saloon. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Lloyd has no reason to lie, but she does.
Now, what do you mean by that?
I mean, any woman who would take up with a gunman.
Will!
You saw his eyes. If he'd been carrying a gun, I'd be a dead man.
The Daltons arrived at Onion Creek as planned and bedded down, but it would be a restless night for all of them. However, Emmett was still reticent about continuing on to Coffeyville with the others.
Can't sleep. Scared.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Never gets any easier. Better than I ain't closed yet.
Oh, man.
Except your brother, look at him. He'd sleep through a stampede. See how it's worked out? Everything's gonna be fine, Emmett.
What if it does work out fine, Bob? What then after that?
We hide out.
I mean, after the money runs out. Another bank? A train?
Emmett, we tried living honest. Farming. Our pa killed himself behind the plow. Like fools, we took up the land. The damn sun to burn you out. Dirt don't give. Wind. When there ain't drought, there's flood. Your two brothers, Charlie and Henry, they're still farming, and look at them. Already old men. Scratching at the dirt like chickens to make a living. Even a blind horse knows when the trough's empty.
Oh, it's Ransom Payne, too, Bob. He's fixed on seeing us hang. He hears about this, he's gonna be on us like a mountain cat on a prize pig.
Nobody's been dogging us. You should have a nose blister by now.
I mean it, Bob.
You ever hear of Argentina or South America?
Yeah, sure, they're a long ways off.
They're too far for the likes of Payne. You know, after this is over, we'll hide out for a spell. Then we'll head south. Julie will love it. You know what I hear? I hear there's no winter there. Sun up all the time.
Daisy'd go?
That woman will go anywhere I go. You try and sleep on it, boy.
You don't want to leave, do you?
No.
It's just off the town council, Will. When the Daltons miss those two men, they'll know you're still alive.
No, I don't think so. I figure they were supposed to keep riding.
Then why don't we try to stay?
Honey, you were at that meeting tonight.
I felt the sting, same as you.
You know, you're kind of hard to keep track of. First you want to stay, then you want to go. Now you want to stay again.
I'm a woman.
You are. I'm glad.
You know, when you went for Riley tonight, I thought you were going to kill him.
No.
And then when I saw those men's faces, I didn't think we could stay. Oh, but Will, this is our home. And I don't want to leave. Unless it's our decision, not theirs.
Honey, this place is the only thing I've ever owned in my life. But they've done everything but put up a signboard telling us to leave.
You're talking about a handful in that saloon tonight.
No. It's not just them. I felt it from others. And Adam's getting the brunt of it.
If we pack up and we leave, every time the past comes back to haunt us, we'll never settle.
I don't want to leave Coffeeville, Dad. Mom, why do we gotta leave?
We don't gotta do anything, honey.
Dad said himself. A fella just shouldn't quit because the going gets too tough. All my friends are here. And Billy's dog is gonna have puppies. He promised me first pick, Mom. And if we're gone, well, I don't just want any puppy, Dad.
Well, all right. Just make sure you don't pick a female.
Come on. We'll get you back to bed.
While the rest of the gang slept, Emmett visited his sweetheart, Julia Johnson. Julia grew up and lived on a small farm on the outskirts of Coffeeville.
Where have you been?
Don't talk so loud. I don't want nobody to know I'm here.
Emmett.
Look, I'm just passing through for now.
Passing through? Why can't you stay?
I can't stay. I'm with Bob and Grat.
They're dragging you into something again, aren't they?
Oh, honey, I tried honest work. The best I could do as a ranch hand, $12 a month. $12. You want to get married, don't you?
Yes.
Well, $12 don't buy nothing except maybe beans and misery.
You could get a job in town, clerking or something. Collie Jones makes $25 in a store.
Collie Jones, well, I can't work in no town. I'm wanted. Folks would find out I'm a Dalton.
What are Bob and Grad aiming to do?
Well, you ever heard of Argentina?
I think so.
Well, Bob and I are talking about going on down there. Living real quiet. No more holdups.
That's what they're up to, isn't it? Another holdup.
I just want you to stay out of town tomorrow, you hear me?
Coffeeville? You're gonna hold up Coffeeville?
Look, it'll be the last one, I swear it. No more robbers.
Oh, Emmett!
No, we don't go through with this one. We ain't got nothing.
Emmett, please. Please, don't go with them. Stay here and...
When I come back tomorrow, I want you to come with me. Julia, I got to know.
I'll go with you.
That'll be sometime tomorrow. You be ready.
Spooked or something? Put that thing away.
What are you doing?
Just, stretching.
Bill, you ain't got brains enough to spit downwind. I told you no drinking.
Good day tomorrow, Bob. Just for the nerves, you know.
Man, half drunk. You get us all killed.
Bob? Where's Emmett? Bob, what is it? What's going on?
Guess Emmett's gone.
Always knew he didn't want in. Never did figure he'd run out, though.
Didn't figure he was yellow.
You shut your mouth, you whiskey soak. Emmett never said he wanted in.
Well, he could have told us he was pulling out.
Hey, easy, just me.
Where you been, Emmett?
Well?
I'm just out doing some thinking.
Julia?
Yeah, I seen her.
What if somebody had seen you, Emmett?
We're riding out for Coffeeville in a couple hours. You coming with us?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Before dawn, October 5th, 1892, a day in the history of the Old West that will be remembered and discussed for generations. The outlaws woke early and ate a breakfast of bacon, potatoes, and coffee. At 6:10 a.m., they rode toward Coffeeville. While the Daltons rode, life started as usual in Coffeeville. It was a crisp, windy morning.
Morning, Mr. Hilliard.
Morning. There you go. Thanks for taking him out to the Gillises for us. I'll bet those puppies will be due any time, son.
Maybe by the time I get there.
Yeah, sure.
Now, you behave here.
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck. I wish you'd stay in the hotel till this is over.
Now, you tried to send me off with Adam.
Oh, please, Betty.
No.
All right. But don't you so much as poke your head out.
Oh, I hope this is all for nothing. The Daltons aren't even coming.
So do I.
Little brother?
Yeah?
Crap. Let's go.
At exactly 9:36, the Dalton gang had arrived in Coffeyville. From this point on, every step, every detail was planned to the second.
Good morning, Barney.
Good morning, mister.
Just the paper money. Fast.
Dalton.
Hey, you don't try anything, ain't nobody gonna get hurt.
Mr. Graham, it's been a long time, sir, and you're looking fit. It's a good way to die. I'll get that safe open.
Come on! Now, open it. Yeah, I can't. It's on a time lock.
What time is that set for?
9:45.
Well, wait.
We're supposed to be out of here now.
Minutes, what's in that safe's gonna be worth it. Grant, I said, well, wait.
Marshal! Marshal!
Marshal, the Daltons rode in. They're robbing both banks.
Will, it's the Daltons.
The Condon?
Both banks the same time.
How many are there?
5. I told Seaman to get as many of the others together as he could and arm themselves. Will, there's innocent folks in both them places.
All right. Tell everybody to hold their fire till the Daltons are out of both banks.
All right.
Arnie, hurry up, hurry up. You see Grant?
He's still in there. What's keeping him?
They're here.
They think you're dead. Leave it that way. Show yourself. They'll be shooting.
Honey, they'll be shooting whether I stay out of it or not. And against the Daltons, these people won't have a chance.
Get yourself killed. For a time that doesn't even want you. You'll die for nothing.
Get out of my way.
Where's Spence?
He's coming. He said for us to hold our fire till the whole gang gets on the street. We'll try and catch him in the crossfire. Now, you men split up. Take both sides of the street and keep out of sight. Howard, you get on the roof. Keep your head down. All right, let's go.
Grant. There's something going on outside.
Only a couple of seconds.
I don't hear nothing. I don't know.
You lied to me, didn't you?
It was open all the time.
Grant! There are a couple fellows out there with rifles.
Are you all right? Yeah, let's get out of here.
What's the matter with you? Spence said wait until they're on the street.
I'm not taking orders from Spence.
It's mine. I'm gonna take them with us. Hurry up! Come on! Come on, get out! Keep down! Get!
Spence. Thought he's dead.
I'll be right behind you. Now, Lord, Emmett, get the hell out of here!
We got him, Charlie.
Get out of here. Oh, come on, we can make it. Come on, Bob. Damn it, get out of here. We're gonna make it, Bob. I'm sorry. Bob, we can make it. Bob.
It's over, son.
No, it can't be. It can't be. Bob, don't give up. Bob, don't. Oh, Bob. Oh, Bobby. I should have stopped you. I should have stopped you.
Minutes after the Daltons' arrival in Coffeyville, 5 townsmen had been killed. Many were seriously wounded. Bob and Grat Dalton, Dick Broadwell, and Bill Powers were dead. Emmett Dalton was the only survivor of the gang, but he was believed to be dying. 2 hours after the Dalton gang fell in the streets of Coffeyville, the curious had grimly gathered to view the bodies of the once notorious outlaw band. It wasn't until then that Ransom Payne arrived.
Mister, what happened here?
It's the Daltons. They rode in this morning. Sure cost them.
Cost the town, too.
Emmett Dalton. Was he with him?
Lucky if he lives through the night. Doctor's tending him over the saloon.
Will he live?
We won't know that for a while.
Ransom Payne. You're too late.
Hope it stays there.
It won't if we stay in Coffeyville. I had a hand in wiping out the Daltons. That's all folks around here are going to remember. Now word will spread that Will Spence is in Coffeyville. There'll be men coming off the plains to try me.
That'd hold true no matter where we went. People who have to bear the past bury it. They do it.
You think we can?
We have to.
Yeah. Well, I better go get at him. You know, this place needs work. Welcome home, Mrs. Spence.
Will and Betty Spence stayed to live out their lives in Coffeyville. After Coffeyville, Ransom Payne continued his search for the lawless until his name faded from the pages of history, as did Daisy's. Emmett Dalton survived his wounds and was sentenced to life imprisonment. Ironically, it was the citizens of Coffeyville, instigated by the untiring efforts of Julia Johnson, who petitioned the government for his freedom. After serving 14 years, Emmett Dalton was granted a full pardon by President Theodore Roosevelt. Julia Johnson was waiting for him. He died in Los Angeles, California, on July 13th, 1937. 65 years old, he was the last of the Daltons.